Okay, y'all. So do y'all actually think that Danny deserves $150,000? Let me know down below. Okay, y'all. So I knew about Danny working with Andy, or Danny being Andy's first client as the big boss, before they even dropped the season 8 trailer. And I knew it was against the airline. They had already dropped the whole picture with Andy and Danny sitting right there and Tony sitting across from them. I don't remember seeing anybody else, but yeah. And I said, I've been wanting her to get some money just like Zach to have a come up. But I don't know if this the right way, considering everything. And I said, I don't know what to feel about this whole little storyline. Like, I agree with people who said that, well, what Andy said about how he set all this in motion by putting her in a program that she didn't even want to be a part of. That's why Lenny targeted her. And I said, she right about that. He definitely said it. He said he targeted her because she got in the program, she wasn't working hard, and all this other stuff. He was working hard. He deserved it. He said something about he the first one there, he the last one to leave. I said, sometimes that don't even matter nowadays. I also seen a comment, I think it was on Instagram or Facebook, I don't know, where people was arguing because they said Danny don't even deserve the job because she never on time. She always doing stuff she ain't got no business doing and stuff like that. And they were saying how they sure she would have been fired if they didn't like her work and this and that. And I said, well, technically nowadays that stuff don't matter. All the stuff they used to tell us, you do this, you do that, or whatever, it's gonna pay off. It doesn't always. People like Danny who don't do their job. I mean, sometimes we have seen her doing her job lately and stuff, and she has been trying to make progress in regards to therapy and everything. But yeah, that don't matter nowadays. Shoot, that does not matter nowadays. But yeah, I say on one hand, I wanted her to have money or win some money against them. But the whole scene, the whole situation, they both was being investigated. I'm conflicted. That's why I said I'm conflicted. Because on one hand, I agree with Andy. He said all this in motion. He never talked to her. She didn't want to do it. But she did eventually agree to it, though. And they both, I said, let me get this out because y'all know I'll forget. I got to always say it. I'll forget it in a second. So let me go and say this part. I said, what if this backfire? I said, can they fire both of them? But let me finish what I was saying about what Andy said. She said, well, let me get a backstory for people who only listen to reviews. So Danny and Tony, dog, cut his part out. You can't even see him, but it's somewhere on my page, y'all, a picture of him. Or you could just look it up on YouTube or whatever. But Danny and Tony dating. He her boss. He her boss. Oh, that's another thing people said. They said she agreed to date him and he agreed to date her, even though they usually they have rules about this type of thing because wouldn't he be her superior or something like that? So usually they have rules against it. Then the stuff they did, that's why I said they both should be fired for being honest. Did y'all see that episode where he went to doing you know what down in a public place right where these people at? So that's why I was like, okay, y'all both need to be fired, to be honest. It's so many times. Then I think it was after they got told that they was being investigated or something like that. He still came over there. I don't know if he's being touchy feely or what. I don't know if it was before. I don't know if it was before they got called into the office or what, but he still was like interjecting himself or whatever, just doing crazy stuff. And that's this. Look, they both need to be fired. But yeah, I agree with Andy about saying he's the one who put in the program. That's why Leonard targeted her and everything. They trying to spin it as it was assault. She assaulted him. Then on the other side, that he sexually harassed her. And I was like, dog, well, I do think they said you can't be saying certain stuff like that. So technically, they do consider that sexual harassment or whatever. It's certain things you cannot say to folks or whatever. But then she hit him with a cup. People were saying how she just knocked the coffee out of his hand or whatever. That's not assault and stuff like that. But apparently nowadays they consider that assault too. I was like, everybody keep your hands to yourself. For real. But yeah, and on the other side of things, I was like, he was just trying to help her. And I said, that'd be messed up if he got fired. I said, they could say, you know what, Danny, you right. You is right. Tony should be fired too. And then I said another thing. Well, they said she was suspended without pay, and she been suspended thus far for what, a month? I say, both of y'all gonna get fired now. Because you wasn't fired at first. You just suspended for a month. I didn't finish giving the backstory. But Danny and Tony dating. Tony is, I don't even know. I just know he her boss. He one of the big bosses or whatever. He wanted to enroll her in the program without telling her. I think so she could be, in a bigger position or something like that. And when he told her about it, she was against it. She said she didn't want to. He was out of place or whatever because he didn't consider her, and you supposed to be running around taking away people's right to choose. Y'all know on my reviews, I always say that in real life too. You don't take away nobody's right to choose or whatever. And he took away her right to choose, so she was mad. They was into it. I was like, what y'all introduce these folks for? If they still gonna be over here, everybody doing whatever they want to do. You got Jordan over here, sitting up here talking, I need to drop a video on that. They blaming, and you knew Gary before you even knew that she knew Gary, before you knew her. What the freak? I need to drop a video on that next, y'all. But yeah, now they here. Now they here or whatever. Because the dude, Leonard, that Danny worked with, he said he was worried of being in the program. She took the spot. She took the spot. She used the fact that she was laying on her back with her dude, which she technically did lay on her back to get the job because that's how she got it. To be honest, that is how she got it. Not to mention, he been over here giving her paid time off and stuff like that. So he technically should be fired for using his position of power to do stuff he ain't got no business doing. But a lot of people do that stuff. So, and on the trailer for this week's episode, on the first one they showed, Andy is whispering to Danny, do you trust me? And she's saying, yeah. So I don't know if she's saying, like, don't do this or where is this going or what. But on the second trailer, she's saying she want $150,000. I don't know if that's the starting point or what. Or, you know how sometimes they'll start out with a big number so they can be like, no. And I see the comment, somebody said, well, Tony definitely fired now. I said, right. I said, both of them technically, because even if they get her the money, now you fired. Now you fired or whatever. But yeah, I wanted Danny to have a come up, but I don't know. I don't know. Like, a lot of people ain't holding her accountable for the fact that she knocked this coffee in this man. She played into his trap. He was trying to antagonize her for a reason. He was over here coming for her for a reason. Like, it was obvious. It was obvious. And that's it. Then they tried to list out everything she done did. So y'all been do about that, or y'all did y'all research so y'all can have something to say. But they said something about this mediation, so it wasn't really a look. I don't know what it's called, y'all. I don't know what it's called. But yeah, I don't know. I want Danny to get some money just like Zach. I want to see more of Zach, but at the same time, I think they're saving that or his scenes with Fatima into Zatima. That's what it looked like, y'all, because we haven't seen much of them. The only time we see them was they was investigating who stabbed Gary. Nobody said nothing yet. That's a whole nother video too, because some people saying they still don't think that they did it. Some people saying they think Hudson did it. That's why he said all the things I did for you or whatever when he was talking to Miss Marie on last week's episode. But I was like, right, he did say that part, and Miss Marie did say the stabbing was supposed to get her access to his funds or control of his funds and stuff like that. But they never flat out said it or showed a flashback or nothing like that. But I'm assuming Hudson did it. And the last comment that I seen about Tony and Danny that I agree with is they said that Danny and Tony definitely done now. I said, right. They definitely, especially if he get fired, like when he get fired, because it's $150,000 if they get that. If she actually gets that from them or whatever. I was like, yep. I was like, why did y'all bring these folks? You might as well kill Calvin. Who else did they have? Zach was with Karen, but then he got with Fatima. They had Calvin. Who else was it? Gary ain't went nowhere. Apparently on this week's episode, he gonna be back talking about something. He going after Andy. Now I don't know if he just saying that in front of Gary and Hudson or what. But I was like, what? You already? Wait. He said, what did he say? He said he was going after Andy. He said he gonna make her pay or he gonna do something to her. I said, too late. You been doing stuff to her the whole doggone series. So what you mean? I said, what you mean? Did he get his memories back in the past month that they been gone? Look, I don't know, y'all, but yeah, people saying Tony and Danny gone. They gone. They done. That they done. Their relationship is over. And I said, that's why I said, man, I know who else. Jordan. They brought Jordan, they brought Rich, and they brought Tony. Rich over here, we knew this. We've been calling this. A lot of us said that. They sit up here, put these folks on this doggone show, introduce these folks for nothing. And then they said that Tony's supposed to be a series regular, but we've been seeing Rich in them too, so I don't know. We'll see. But to finalize everything, like I said, I agree with what Andy said, that he said all this emotion because he put it in his doggone program. But the fact that they don't spend all this, and the reason we here is because they watched you dump the doggone copy on him. What the freak? So what he said to Sabrina about none of them taking accountability is correct. They were here acting like, that's just like, I gotta say it. anytime Zach called Fatima on her stuff, she be like, me no. Or you remember when the therapist, if y'all watch the Fatima, what's his name? Dr. Reed, he was trying to tell her maybe she should be in therapy, stuff like this, or trying to bring up her stuff. And she like, no, I'm fine. Even when Miss Marie was talking to her, that's a whole nother video too. I should write this stuff down, before I forget. Cause people still on Miss Marie's side. I was like, so she doing crooked stuff. Maybe Karen them investing with her is not a good idea. Maybe she should take her $150,000 or whatever she said and go. Cause if she doing that type of crooked stuff, what's to stop her from doing that to Karen them too? Then Zach on this week's episode saying how he wants to invest. I was like, people don't see that. Well, in this case, Zach and them don't know what Miss Marie did, unless that was what he was saying when he was like, ooh, and Fatima wouldn't listen to him or whatever. Maybe that's what he figured out. But I was like, to know somebody snaked somebody and did them dirty or whatever like that, or had them stabbed or whatever, if she actually did, because they didn't say it. What the freak? All these doggone flashbacks and stuff, he ain't showing us what we should be seeing. The whole doggone, how many more episodes we got? I think 2. What? It's like they revealed to us Miss Marie and Hudson working together, but they made us more confused. Cause what the freak? Cause me, I like to be direct. I like you to say what it is. Don't get no doggone hints. I don't want no hints. But yeah, I forgot what else I was talking about before I started talking about the Zach thing. Well, it's gone now. That's it. But that's it, y'all. Let me know y'all thoughts down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, do have a great rest of the day and be safe.